Okay, so you're going to be writing an essay about the Cask of Amontillado and comparing that with Night of the Hunter. The writing task is already shared with you. It's in your Google Drive under Shared with Me. So go there and find a document that looks very much like this. And this is your prompt. I won't read it to you. You can read it for yourself. But I wanted to show you how you could get started on this essay task. I'm making this video so that you can watch it again if you need to. So you'll notice there's a table of contents at the top of the page. And then there's a section that says erase this and type your essay here. So that's where we're going to be working today. I like to start writing an essay by sort of outlining my essay, sort of knowing what I'm going to need to have. So I know I'm going to have an introduction. I know that I've read this writing task, and I can tell that I'm going to need to have paragraphs about mood, theme, and irony. But I don't have to have them in the same order they are in the prompt. So I'm going to switch them up a little bit and go irony, theme, no, I changed my mind. Irony, mood, and then theme. That's kind of the order I want to go. And then I'll have some kind of conclusion, which works out to 5 paragraphs. Your essay can be more than 5 paragraphs, but just for the purposes of this example, we're just going to end up having 5 because of mood, theme, and irony. Now, a typical student would start with writing the introduction. We're not going to start with the introduction. We're going to start with the mood paragraph. So that's where I'm going to be working today, is in that mood paragraph. And I want to model for you sort of how I would write just the mood paragraph. Now remember that there'll be an introduction paragraph ahead of this and an irony paragraph ahead of this. So this is going to be a middle sort of body paragraph of my essay. So to start, I'm going to need opening sentence of the paragraph. And I'm going to go something like this. So I'm going to say that Poe and Laughton both create a dark, ominous mood with a strong element of suspense in their creations. Poe uses imagery, which is sort of like the setting and the pictures we have of the catacombs. And he uses some foreshadowing, which is kind of giving us clues about what's coming. And he does a lot of that with some of the dramatic irony he uses and the opening paragraphs of the story. And while Laughton, he tends to use more lighting. So once I have these sort of opening sentences, and I could probably do a little wordsmithing on this and combine these into one sentence, but I'm going to leave them as they are for now. I'm going to need some examples. So I need an example of Poe creating that dark, ominous mood. Now, you'll remember a few weeks ago you recorded your thinking about Cask of Amontillado. You wrote down some examples of theme, mood, and irony. So I've actually left you those examples. And if you scroll down on your document, you'll find your examples of theme, mood, and irony right here in your Google Doc. When I open that, it's going to take me to your spreadsheet. Now, remember, I'm looking for an example of Poe using imagery and foreshadowing. So for something about mood. So I'm going to come back to my spreadsheet, and I'm going to look in the category about mood. And that's the center one here. And so I need something that's sort of interesting. Okay, so I like this one. So I'm going to actually just copy this text right here, Control C, and come back to my document here. So for example, Poe describes the scene this way, and I'm going to use quotation marks because I'm quoting from the story. And I can paste that in. Now when I paste that in, it's pink in the background, which tells me that I copied it and pasted it from the spreadsheet, but I don't want it to be pink in the background. So first I'm going to do Control Z to delete that, then I'm going to do Control Shift and V at the same time, and it will paste that text in a way that matches the rest of my paragraph. So for example, Poe described the scene this way. We had passed through long walls of piled skeletons with casks and puncheons intermingling into the innermost recesses of the catacombs. So now I have to, after putting in that quote, I have to explain it. So this shows that the setting is full of dead bodies, skeletons, and old casks of wine. The catacombs are a creepy place, and they're going even deeper into them, which heightens the suspense. Now for Laughton, I'm going to need an example that shows he uses dramatic irony and fast music. I can say Laughton also creates this dramatic mood. So now I got to go find an example of evidence from Laughton that shows that he's creating a dramatic mood, preferably with dramatic lighting and fast music. So let's see what examples you guys came up with about that. I'll go down here, I'll grab this. And again, I'm going to be looking at the mood column. There's another example of fear or mood when John stands in the shadow of Harry suddenly appears and dark orchestral music plays. This shows that an evil mood in a good amount of time. That one doesn't have music. It gets scary and violent when the Reverend's on the train. I'm looking. So this one right here, this is an example I can use. It fits with what I'm already saying. The scene was John was talking and a shadow appeared behind him. The music became louder and told us that something bad is probably about to happen. So I'm going to copy that. A scene from Night of the Hundred shows this when, and now I'm not going to use quotes here because I'm not actually quoting the movie. So let me just take a space and paste in what I've got from this example. So the scene when John was talking and a shadow appeared behind him, the music became louder and this told us something bad is probably about to happen. The scene when John was talking, let's see, give myself some space. A scene from Night shows this when, I remember that scene when the bad man suddenly appeared behind him. So right here, I have the example from the movie that shows that Laughton is using that dramatic music and that dramatic lighting, but then I also have to explain it. So this is just one of many examples of dramatic lighting and dramatic music coming together to create an ominous mood that will make the movie more suspenseful. So of course I spelled a couple of things wrong, so I'll right-click on that, fix my typos. Over here and right-click on this and fix my typo. And now I just need one more. I can delete these examples that I pulled from here. Now I just sort of need one more sentence to wrap up this paragraph about mood. Poe and Laughton use different techniques, but they both create suspense and drama in their works by making the mood of many scenes scary and dark. So that's just one example of the mood paragraph that'll fall somewhere in the middle of my essay. I also will need to write an irony paragraph before it, and I'll need a theme paragraph after it. And you can go ahead and use a very close version of my paragraph about mood. You'll notice that it includes evidence from both Poe and Laughton, and you need to have both in each of your body paragraphs as well. So I hope that helps you get started on your essay, and we will continue writing in class.